Yay, we're live. What's up, journeyers? We are live for this week's Tuesday live training. I am so excited that you're here, and I'm so excited to have, oops, hold on. That happens every time.
Perfect timing. Love it.
So we're live with, I'm going to point this way because I can see on Facebook that it actually is. It's that way.
No.
Let's see. Oh, no, it is that way. Okay, it is right. So weird. Anyways, we're live with Victoria Padmore of More to Her Life charity, and I'm super excited because we get to talk about the idea of outrageous generosity. And so I wanted to just first start with what is generosity and like, why does it matter? And I think some people feel like, hey, Fanny, that generosity always means giving out of excess, right? That that if you don't have excess, that you can't be generous, and it's just not true. And so we're going to get into that too. So generosity is just the ability to give of yourself, give of things that are valuable to you. And what is more valuable to you than your money? Of course, some people say my time. I'm like, sure, okay. It is, right? And we give of our times, but man, being generous with your time, with your energy, with your money, with your resources, whatever they are, it just means giving of yourself for the benefit of someone else.
Yeah,
right?
Love it.
And
so simple.
It is so simple. It's so simple, and yet people want to complicate it or get super intimidated by it. And so I did some research, because you guys know I like research. And I found a list of all of the reasons why generosity and giving is good for you. I'm super excited. So generosity, giving makes you feel good, makes you feel good. And so you get like this like dopamine rush. You're like, ooh, that's kind of fun. Like, oh, that was really cool. Ooh, it was kind of nice that I got to do that, right? But it also makes them feel good. And when you make someone else feel good, that makes you feel good too, right? It's like this like double hit. It is known to decrease stress and decrease and combat depression when you live a life of generosity, which is crazy. It means you can live longer, right? Less stress. Yeah. You get to live longer by being a generous person. You are also more likely to receive generosity from others because they perceive you as more of a positive person that they want to support, right? Yeah. You cultivate an attitude of gratitude, and generosity itself is just super contagious. But I really want to emphasize this idea of receiving back. This idea of reciprocal.
I think all of those points, though, if you kind of pull them all together, it's about connecting with other people. And that connection makes you feel good, makes them feel good. That connection that we're all seeking in life helps with depression and helps you sort of feel that connection to other people. And it's just generosity is a way of connecting in that way. So all of those points.
Can you imagine being on the receiving side too? Like I think about some of the people that we've given to over the years, especially this last 15 months that has been so hard for so many people. And can you just imagine being at a place where you are in so much need and someone just says, hey, I got you. Here you go. Yeah. Like, what does that do for you, right? We're just like, oh my gosh, like I matter, I'm worthy, I'm valuable. And like, what better feeling to put into somebody than that?
Yeah, you're also at a point, probably if you are at a point that you're needing help, you've probably been through some stuff and you're probably doubting humankind. Like, I know that sounds dramatic, but you probably are. You've probably written off people in general. And carrying on down that spiral, it's just going to keep them down. It's going to keep them low. And suddenly getting someone, whether it's someone you know or a stranger, go, here is a helping hand, it kind of cuts through all that negativity. And it's that light that you shine and you say to them, we're not all like that. You know, I know you've been through a lot, and a lot of charity and giving is to help people who have been through stuff and need to see not everyone's like that.
Yes, it gives hope. It brings light to like that things are possible. Fanny, you may have, she's also a business peep. So you may have seen her in there. Fanny was like, I'm sure we've met. Fanny lives in Cheltenham, where I used to live. Like literally, like I think maybe a half a mile from where I used to live.
Oh, wow.
My gosh. So Fanny, Victoria is in Coventry connection. So yeah, it's amazing because the things that we think, oh, if I give to someone or if I'm giving, then I'm making that person feel good. I'm making that person feel gratitude. I'm making that person feel hope. But the truth is, it's everyone involved in the giving process gets to feel those things. And that is that idea of reciprocal energy, right? Where we if we're constantly taking, receiving, even if it's not in a negative, like we're not just trying to be takers, right? But if we're just constantly in receive mode, and we don't choose to also give, then we get filled up and stuffed up, and like something has to give, right? And so when you choose to be free with what you give, and allow yourself to be generous, that's what creates that reciprocal energy, which means it always comes back to you. And that's where part of this comes in with this idea of like outrageous generosity and how it impacts your financial freedom. I can tell you, we have given away this last 12 months. I'll call it 12 months because that's the number I know. We've given away probably $5,000 in cash to friends, to charities. And that's not even counting our 10% tithe that we do every month. That's just like someone had a need and we met it. And in that same time, we also increased our net worth by $50,000. So this idea that like, if I give away, it takes away from what I'm trying to do with my money, or that it takes away from what I can give to my family. Even though your numbers brain and like the logic brain wants to tell you that that's true, in actuality, it's not. It's not, because you create an environment where you are now more open to receive, and the universe, God, humans, whoever you believe will give to you, will. I mean, we joke about mailbox money, right? That when we're faithful and when we give to what God is asking us to give, we receive random checks in the mail, which happens. And it just happened 2 weeks ago. We got a check for $350 in the mail. We're like, woo, right?
Because it is crazy when it happens, isn't it?
And it also shows that you are the type of person who cares more about other people and other people's scenarios and situations than just yourself. And that makes you more attractive. That makes people want to work with you. It makes people want to be around you. And so I wanted to do this little demonstration, and I showed it to Victoria, and she was like, that's so cool. Okay, so this is the idea of living life open-handed. And so let's say you have something super valuable, like my lip gloss here.
So valuable.
Is so valuable. And you are like, you know what? I'm going to hang on to my thing. I'm going to hang on to my thing because it's really important. I'm going to hold on to it tight. It's mine. I want to keep it. Like, I'm not trying to be rude. Like, you know, you can maybe buy your own lip gloss, right? But I'm just going to hold on to it. And let's say you're living life like this, generally speaking. And someone says, hey, I want to give you something. And they're like, hey, here you go. Here, have this thing, right? Like, it doesn't stay because you're not open to it, right? Yeah. But the fear that comes with people living life like this is, if I live life like this, somebody can come take my stuff, right? If I live life like this, I can lose what I have. And that's where the fear comes in, right? But also, when you live life like this, not only can you potentially keep your stuff, but you can get more and more and more. And look what I can hold. Yeah. When I'm open-handed, meaning I'm willing to give and I'm generous, as opposed to being close-fisted, right?
But then if I come to you and say, oh, can I have your lip gloss? What are you going to say now? Sure.
Yeah, sure. Because I can get another one.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm in a position where I can easily receive another one. And we do have seasons in life that feel tighter, right? And so one of the reasons why I chose Victoria to come and have this conversation with is because one of the things I see a lot is people feel that, you know, they might be in a situation where they do feel like their finances are tight, but they want to get into that spirit of giving. And they think, but I have $5. I have $5. I have £5. That's all I can give. That's not even worth it. That can't make any impact. And I wanted to bring Victoria on here because Victoria is the founder of a charity called More to Her Life in the UK that is making massive, massive, massive impacts with small gifts at a time. And so I want to give her an opportunity to not only speak to how we can make massive impacts, even with small acts of generosity, but also just to speak to, she's doing a fundraiser right now, what she does to talk about More to Her Life, because it's beautiful what she does. So take it away.
Thank you. Well, I massively appreciate that introduction because everything you said sung to my heart. It was, absolutely the way that I feel and the way that I conduct myself. One of the things that you talked about that you're brilliant at is screaming and shouting about the good that you do. And it's something that people don't like doing. They feel like charity should be something you do quietly and you shouldn't brag about it. And it's wrapped up in that whole money mindset that we don't talk about money and we don't do these things.
We do,
but actually, yeah, thank you. But that's why this is so powerful, because you're ready to talk about it and it lets everyone else hear it. So massively appreciate that. With regards to when people say, as you said, when people say generosity, they assume that it's a massive amount of money that you've given and you've just bought a wing to a new school, or you've just, bought the hospital a new MRI scanner, and that's generosity. When actually, the way that I've set up the charity is there's different ways that you can be involved, because I believe truly that whatever you can do has an impact, and no one should be left out of this amazing feeling of us all coming together and making an impact in people's lives. Everyone deserves that feeling. Everyone deserves the feeling like you have when you give that £5,000 away and you went, oh, like it is so good. Everyone deserves that feeling regardless of how much it is. So the fundraiser we're doing at the moment, someone donated £2. Now, other people might go, £2, but I was deeply, deeply touched by that £2. And that person who's donated is as big a part of this project as everybody else is. Because that's what the pop-up projects that we do is, so that we can pull a community together and we can all get involved in this generosity and this way of living, that everyone can have that impact. We obviously have other times that we have bigger donors, and I like them too. Like, let's not say we don't. But it's that whole scale of everyone can get involved, and that's what's so important about fundraising.
So tell them the basics of More to Her Life, and then tell them about our current fundraiser, because I'm excited.
Yeah, cool. So More to Her Life, we support women who've experienced domestic abuse. So when I was talking earlier about people who've been through stuff, and when we go and help them, they're at a point where they are at a low in their life. So the way that More to Her Life step in, there are incredible charities out there who help women escape domestic abuse. And they then take them and they get them safe, and they give them the shelter and the food and that basic human living that they need to have. And that's incredible. They're saving lives. What I felt, having been there myself, is there's that scary time that you sit and you look around and you go, well, what now? Like, is this it? And I think a lot of women, we even use the term survivor. People who've escaped domestic abuse as survivors. And a lot of women then live the rest of their life in survival mode. They have that defining moment of their domestic abuse, and it kind of carries on through the rest of their lives. And either they go back to abusive relationships because surviving sucks, like no one wants to just survive life, right? Or they go to someone else who treats them exactly the same. So what more to her life do is we come in at that point and we go, life can be incredible. Yeah. And this all comes from, I've built a life now that I am in love with. I love my life. My life is incredible. And I want every single woman to experience that switch, to experience that they know they can build the life that they truly, truly want. And we do that by giving them gifts and experiences that give them a little taste. So they're at a really low point right now, and they just need their eyes open to say, oh no, actually I can build a better life. Yeah. And it's like you said, that hope, and you know, just that something to cling
like
on
to. Glimpse of it, right? That like, oh, this is what they meant when they said that life gets to be better. Like, oh.
Yeah, because it's like human nature, isn't it? I can tell you something 10 times. Yeah. If I make you feel it, then it's got such a bigger impact, definitely. And the fundraiser we're doing at the moment is a huge example of this. Yeah. So I'm really excited about this, so I'll calm down. What we're doing is this summer we are going to send a whole refuge. So there are 17 women and currently 18 children staying in this refuge, and we're sending them to the seaside for the day. And it sounds the beach. It sounds so simple, and it sounds like, well, why would I want to get involved in that? How is that going to change their lives? But it does, because these kind of experiences are on the dark nights when they're sat wondering what now. They can think back to the expression on their child's face as they were paddling. They can think to, you know, like, I don't know, in America they have 2p machines, like the slots that you put 2p in, and then it's got sort of slots, and you get, anyway, games. But yeah, so they can see like their child playing that game, and that's what they're going to hold on to when times are tough. So we did right at the beginning of the charity, we sent a woman to a water park with her son, and her reply was, I now believe I can have a normal life.
Yes,
that's so powerful. And they now they've gone through the refuge. She was thinking about going back to her partner, but they stayed, and they live in a house now because she got that glimpse and she got that belief. So we're ramping it up, and we're doing it for 17 women and their children. And they're all going to get on a coach, and they're all going to have a little packed lunch, and they're going to go to the beach for the day, and it's going to be incredible. And this fundraiser, you can all get involved. Yeah. So it doesn't matter how much you can do. It's all going to make that impact.
Yes. I can say it's, you know, you're aiming for, I think it's like 1,100 pounds, I think is something around there that we're aiming for. Yeah. And I realized that it only takes like 100 people giving 11 pounds. Right? Like it doesn't take people giving 1,000 pounds, right? It takes a good number of people giving small, right? To get where you want to go for those 17 women and their 18 children, which is so just beautiful. So you guys know I'm all about practical, right? It's mindset. It's really understanding the theories. It's understanding what's going to make your financial freedom journey be beautiful. But I'm also about practical and giving you the opportunity to actually practice this. So I'm going to drop the link in the comments right now, and I'm going to put it in the description of the video, because giving in any capacity, small, large, all of it, it does something. It changes your energy. So I dropped the link for the beach day, which is super exciting. I am going to be giving to that. I meant to do it. I meant to like have it queued up so I could do it, and then you'd like get the message, and didn't. But I will. But I wanted to also share this idea of reciprocal energy with giving. It's not just that you're open-handed and you can receive, but it does make people look at you differently, right? When people see, wow, like she doesn't just take all of her, you know, income or her profits and like hoard it for herself. She also gives away to, whether it's a charity or to people, or buys things for people. And they see that about you, and it changes their perception of you. And I know you're like, well, it shouldn't. Okay, but it does. Okay. So,
that's a whole nother discussion that we won't get into today.
It's human nature to go, wow, that person is a giving person, and that is important, right? Generosity is a core value. I will tell you, I put something out there in another group that was like, when you hear the term millionaire, what do you think? And so many people, like at least 75% of the people who responded, commented with how much impact I can make, how many people I can help, how much of my family that I can help, right?
Yeah.
It was, most people have a core value of generosity. And so I'm giving you the opportunity right now to exercise your generosity. Like Vic said, £2, like £2. £2 in dollars is like $3.20. Okay. So it doesn't take much. It just takes people, right? It just takes a lot of people willing to give a little bit to make a massive, massive difference. So you have the opportunity, go and give. But I wanted to share, and Vic, you can correct me. But one of the things that Victoria does, if you are on this page, not everybody on this page is, but if you are in my group and you are an entrepreneur, a business owner of any kind, is she partners with business owners to donate either to an entire project. So for example, if you owned a business, you could have given the entire £1,100 to be the funder, be the sponsor of this project, or to donate a percentage of your profits throughout your business, a small percentage, a large percentage, whatever you decide. So, you know, if you have a month where you don't make much money, you don't have to give a ton, you don't have to commit, but to give a percentage of your profits so that you can literally advertise as a partner with More to Her Life charity, that a portion of your proceeds go to More to Her Life charity, so that people see, oh my gosh, this person is really generous, and oh my gosh, this is something that's near and dear to their heart. And it really does make a difference with how you present. And so if you do have a core, now listen to what I'm saying. I want you to support Victoria. Do not support Victoria just to pretend like you care about giving, okay? Because if you're putting out there that you're a generous person and you're not, people will see that very quickly, okay? But if generosity is important to you and you want to make sure that your audience, that your ideal clients, that the people that are watching you know that generosity is a core value, this is a perfect opportunity to partner with Vic to put that out there, right?
Yeah. And I think it's all about, as well, you were saying about screaming and shouting about what you do, is that as the partnership, we then find a really effective way to communicate why you're doing what you're doing. So within your business, you may support female entrepreneurs. So unfortunately, a large majority of your audience will have been through a domestic abuse. So for you to say you support female entrepreneurs and you support this charity, that kind of backs up what you're saying. But no matter what you do, I mean, Nicole's an amazing example of this. She uses her business and what she talks about to effectively communicate why she supports what I do. And she's always supported me, and I love her. But it shows that no matter what your business is, we can effectively communicate to your audience in a way that makes sense, because you can talk in your voice and weave in this element to it. So I'm happy to talk to anyone. I'd love to talk to anyone about becoming a partner. That would be awesome.
She said she gave already.
Thank you so much. You might have just bought an ice cream, you know. Think about putting it practically, what element of that day you've bought, because then you can really feel it. It's going to be the 4th of August, so on that day I'll be sharing lots about it, but just know, as you're sat at home on the 4th of August, you've made a huge part in that.
Oh, that's so exciting. I need to put it in my calendar so that I know.
Are you all tingly now?
So tingly. I know. I do need to put my gift in. Yes, no, and I think I love that, because I think there's also people who go, well, nothing I do is regarding domestic violence, so how does that apply? And so there is this idea of just like, maybe the domestic violence or women has nothing to do with what you do, but you want people to know that generosity and supporting women is a core value of yours. And when you are true, when you are true to who you are, how you feel, what you believe, what is it? I think it's our friend Tracy, who's all about personal branding, says when you are your true authentic self, then you attract your true believers, right? You attract those people who are like, I have to be in her space, I have to be in her world, I love what she's doing, and I trust her. And I even have people, for me, that say that about me, who have literally never used my services. They've never paid me, they've never been a client, but they send people to me left and right because they trust me and they know what I stand for, right? That makes a difference. And so this is an opportunity for you. Fanny said she thinks she paid for a lolly each for each of the kids.
See, just connecting in that kind of way. I think it's really important to let you know where your money goes. So that's, so that you can connect and emotionally feel it. Yeah,
just that practical aspect of like knowing what it's going to. I know, actually, I can't say that because we gave once completely anonymously and she's in this group. And so I can't say what it was, but it meant a lot.
But that felt good.
It meant a lot. And she posted about it on Facebook about how it was completely anonymous and she didn't know who it was. And I just, for me, I was like, I love it.
A lot of the time, the work that we do, because we do work with refuges, the gift comes from the refuge. Like the refuge probably won't know it was more to her life. The women might not know it's more to her life that sent them to the beach. They don't care. Like, I know the part we played, and that's, and I know that they know that people are supporting them. It doesn't have to be my name. It doesn't have to be like that. It just needs to be that they get that glimpse and they know they're supported. Don't care where it's from.
Yep, exactly. And I'm telling you, this idea of living open-handed, of being generous, of not being stingy with your money, and everyone that has worked with me will tell you, this idea that like managing your money means never spending it and being like super strict and restrictive, that's not how I roll. So if you've got that impression of me, you haven't been paying attention.
Yeah, where have you been?
It's the same thing with generosity. Rob and I are Christian, and we give 10% of our income to the church off the top right away, no question, both from my business and from my personal, if and when I go work at the hospital. I have to do it less and less these days, which is nice. And so that's a value for us. But generosity on top of that, like I said, is also an additional value to us. And so we actually have built it into our budget. Our cash flow plan has a line item called the benevolence fund, which is money that we just store up for when people need something so that we can give it.
Beautiful. But you're blessed in return. Both of you will be blessed in return.
Exactly. So like I said, our net worth increased by $50,000 this year. Like that wasn't because we were stingy with our money.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't. So thank you so much, Vic, for sharing. I will be promoting your beach day fundraiser this week because I think it's super important that people get involved, even in small ways. Like you said, somebody donated £2, British pounds, which is like $3.20 or something along those lines.
I loved it.
And it's perfect because again, it's a lolly for one of the kids, right? It's practical, it's real. Imagine if all 18 kids went and one of them didn't get a lolly because there was two quid missing. Like, can you imagine?
That can't happen.
To be okay. But like, can you imagine? And so that's why I wanted you to share this, because I want people to know that the smallest amount of generosity makes a difference in the energy that you're putting out there, right? You are putting out to the world that you are willing to give, and you're willing to be open-handed. And when you're willing to be open-handed, it is way easier to receive. Right?
Perfect.
Yay. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Vic. I appreciate it so much. For everybody watching the replay, please find the link in the comments and go donate, even if it is what seems to be a small amount, because it will make a massive difference.
It will. Definitely. Thank you.
All right. Well, I love you guys. As always, trust yourselves and enjoy the journey.